Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna be reacting to
Why music doesn't feel exciting anymore.
I don't know about you guys, but lately music hasn't felt as exciting as it used to. And I
For
think
you?
that the numbers back this feeling up too. Billboard had to change their
Yeah.
rules to pull songs from the
Really?
Hot 100 if they've been on there too
Oh,
long,
I don't
with
know if I
NPR
could
saying
agree.
streaming services use algorithms that feed people songs they've already played. And
I do agree, but I don't know if it's like a universal thing or it's more like as you get older, you always kind of go back to the music and idolize the music that you grew up with. Because, we see that in like our parents, like the generation above us, they trash our music. Now,
That's not true.
I'm here trashing the kids'
That's not
music.
true. Sometimes my dad and my mom, what is that? And they start singing.
Well, I'm not talking like our parents as literally your or my parents, but like our parents' generation. They always saying, "Oh, the music nowadays is trash," and it's just. So I don't know if it's just as you get older, you kind of want to go back to nostalgia, what you used to be like when you was a teenager, and yeah.
that creates a doom loop that's allowed recent songs to stay on the charts for absurdly long runs, which to me would make sense because hit songs we all collectively enjoy feel few and far between these days. And I think there's a few main reasons for that. Now, I'm not one of those people who's saying that all modern music is bad or anything like that, or that they don't make good music anymore. There is a ton of great music coming out every single day. But what I'm saying is, it feels like the mainstream music, the most popular upper echelon music, just isn't as fun and collectively enjoyed as it used to be. Let's do a little experiment. Let's check out.
Now, if I was to, think why that is, thinking, I think it's way less collabs now than it used to be. Like, think about it, we just did the 2016 video, Rihanna and Drake, like so many collabs with like Drake with this, Drake with that, Drake with Nicki, Drake with Wayne, Drake with Rihanna, Nicki with Wayne, Rihanna with M. Like, there's so many big stars collabing with each other, and that's kind of made it exciting. Now, like, who's collabing? Big artists. Who's collabing with who? Like, if somebody's collabing is like a big artist with like a no-name artist to either bring them, or like a no-name artist with a big artist so they pay them the money to hope it's gonna be a hit. Like, what's the last big collab? What, Tate McRae and Morgan Wallen? I don't even know if they can call it that. Like, it's not that exciting.
In the rap world, there's like collabs, but in the pop world, I'm trying to think like Beyonce with Dolly Parton, her Cowboy Card.
Dolly
album.
Parton, that's exciting for you. Come
And
on.
also, she did a lot of collabs in that album.
No, but like, let's say,
But I would say Doja, she made it a point to say no features because it was like a roasting session. Oh, all you get hits is with features and features. So if features was not like the thing to do because we were wondering, oh, do you got talent on your own?
maybe that became a thing that no features to kind of see, oh, I can do it by myself, but takes excitement away because like how exciting it is, J. Cole drops an album and you see, oh shit, there is Lil Wayne's feature on it. How exciting that
when you
is.
see like the track list,
Yeah.
it's like, who's on it?
Like, but that's one for like a big name collabs. Like, I mean, I guess you could say the big name collab would be Taylor Swift with Sabrina Carpenter, but she didn't push the song. It's like an afterthought. Like, the song isn't it. Now, if Sabrina collabed on Opalite, Elizabeth Taylor,
Yeah,
or Fate of
she made sure
Ophelia.
not to give her a big
Yeah, like if it was like a collab on that song, that would be
I
exciting.
felt like this was not an exciting song for them to collab on because
Yeah.
like, she was making fun of Sabrina.
Yeah, because like I'm thinking like, what's the last like exciting collab? Like Morgan Wallen and Tate McRae is doing okay on the charts, but I don't think it's like that exciting of a collab. Like
That's your bubble. Only you listen to Morgan Wallen.
I don't really listen to him like that, but that's exactly why it's not exciting because I'm not like a Morgan Wallen fan. I understand he's big, but it's like whatever. So like, what's the last song you can think of? Like
That's a big collab.
big exciting collab like that.
Kendrick Lamar with DJ Mustard with Future. Was it Future? Like this. That was big.
That was a fairly exciting
J.
collab.
Cole
Yeah,
with Drake. That started everything.
that was a great collab. You see that? Yes, that's the collab. Yep, exactly what I'm talking about.
But I'm thinking more in the pop world, where we have like two queens. pair off together.
Yeah, like Beyonce and Lady Gaga,
Oh yeah.
Shakira and Beyonce. Where's those collabs?
Shakira did a collab with Cardi B, but it didn't take off the song Punto Rio. And also
Yeah,
Cardi
that didn't take
B
off.
and Meg, they did a song together, Bongos.
That was big.
That was attempt to be big.
But that also kind of was like 2.0 of WAP, so that kind of lost a
Yeah.
little bit of
Yeah.
momentum.
The Billboard Hot 100 in 2010 and in 2020. In 2010, we have TikTok by Kesha, Hey Soul Sister by Train, California Girls by Katy Perry, Airplanes by B.O.B., Love the Way You Lie, Bad
I just
Romance,
feel like
Dynamite.
hindsight is just 2020. Of course, you see the song, you're like, oh my God, these are such great hits. Because we're looking back. Right now, we're in the present, and people usually take the present for granted. So,
And many more songs that I'd imagine we all know and
There's a
enjoy.
lot of
Pop
songs like
songs that
that
are fun to dance to.
nowadays, like Espresso is a big song. Like, that's a very good song.
I think he's talking about 2025. That was 2024. I don't think nobody's debating 2024 was a great
so
year.
2020. So
We're
wait,
talking about
this is
2025.
explicitly. He said that. Let me see the title.
Title doesn't say it, but I'm just saying, like,
So okay,
no, he literally opened the video saying people listening for music from last year.
Okay, so let's continue. Let's cook.
That's what means it's
So
2025 we're
let's
talking
cook. Let
about.
him cook.
Fun to
Let me
sing
see what
along
we got.
to, fun to play with your friends, and things like that. And then in 2020, we
songs that
have
came out
Blinding
this
Lights
year I
by The
love.
Weeknd.
But just compare the number of collabs. This is 2020.
This year got a lot of bangers. Are you kidding me?
I'm just saying, compare the number of collabs here versus here. More collabs. And look at the names of collabs. Katie and Snoop, Usher and will.i.am, B.O.B. and Hailey Williams. I don't think these
Yeah.
are big names. Eminem and Rihanna.
Who's not big names? Who you said?
Hailey Williams,
And who?
B.O.B.
B.O.B. is a big name.
B.O.B. yes, but not Hailey Williams. And then B.O.B. and Bruno, Enrique and Pitbull, Young Money and Lloyd, Gaga and Beyonce. Wow. Here too, the Baby and Roddy Rich.
I
Who
gave
cares?
my theory why it's a little bit of a slower year, and I think it's because we have new legacy acts emerging.
And Circles by Post Malone, The Box by Roddy Rich, Rockstar by DaBaby, Life is Good, Memories, Say So, and more. I do like The Box, but it just feels like the ones from the 2010s are way more classic. The songs from the 2010s feel like they're more fun, they aged better.
I agree. 2020, that list. Like, I'm not gonna debate the streaming numbers of these because these do get streamed a lot. But as far as like exciting songs here,
What's memories? For Maroon 5, I don't remember this song.
memories. The song. I remember the song.
And the bones. It says the bone.
I don't think any of these songs. Maybe What's Poppin', Jack Harlow. It's kind of like more exciting song. But again, a lot of collabs.
Oh, I just learned about Dance Monkey.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's the last one? Oh, Savage.
Savage.
Ooh, my vision is visioning today.
Life is Good, Future and Drake.
That was popular.
That was okay of a song.
That was popular. That was everywhere.
No, these songs are popular. I respect the fact that they were everywhere. Say So was everywhere. No, I'm just saying the songs are not exciting to me.
Oh.
None of them was like 2 songs on the list like are exciting songs compared to this. Basically, the whole list is exciting.
What's the first one?
TikTok, Kesha.
TikTok? Oh.
Lady Annabelle, Need You Now, Hey Soul Sister, Train, California Girls, OMG, Usher and will.i.am, Airplanes, Love the Way You Lie, Bad Romance, Dynamite, Break Your Heart, Taylor Cruz.
I would vibe to both playlists. If you put it on the playlist, I will attend both parties.
I would attend 2010. 2020 would be a lot of skips.
I will attend both parties.
We're right here.
And we all enjoyed them more collectively. Let's try again though, looking at 2015 and 2025. In 2015, we had Uptown Funk, See You Again, Trap Queen, Sugar, Blank Space, Watch Me, The Hills, Can't Feel My Face,
Why
Bad
is he
Blood. I mean,
skipping
come
the
on.
others that are not highlighted?
Okay, Trap Queen was a good song. That was, I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. I don't think 2015 is that exciting either.
You didn't answer my question.
I don't know
said,
why he's
Why are we
skipping.
skipping
For sure, I don't know how he's skipping. Yeah, 2015, not that
2015,
exciting
let me
really.
See You Again. Trap Queen.
Trap Queen was that
Sugar.
song.
I would go to this party too.
Queen,
It's
Sugar,
a different
Blank
outfit
Space,
though.
Watch Me, The Hills, Can't Feel My Face, Bad Blood. I mean, come on. How is
The only song out of that list I would not skip is
I'm
Trap
gonna
Queen.
go to the party.
The only song I would not skip is Trap Queen.
2025 gonna compete? Well, 2025's year-end list isn't out yet, but there hasn't been much change
Oh, I guess he dropped this 2 weeks ago because the year-end list was out.
anyway,
okay.
so let's take a look at 2024, which featured a bar song, Beautiful Things, I Had Some Help, Not Like Us, Espresso, $1 Million
Loving on Me? What? What? Oh, this is 2024. Okay.
Baby, and more. Again, I could be alone in this feeling, but I feel like the songs from 2015 are just miles better. I mean, what on that list I just named comes even close to Trap Queen? Name one. There's nothing. Those, again, are songs that you can sing with your friends or dance to. It felt like we all as a
Hey,
society
what's up?
collectively
Hello.
enjoyed these songs more. And to me, it just feels like that overarching feeling is gone. And it's hard to describe. Well, I don't think it's just me.
A pretty excellent selection of songs in this top 10. I'm genuinely optimistic about pop music these days.
What the f happened?
Now, this is completely my opinion, but I feel like, in general, modern popular music, at least these last few years, isn't that exciting anymore. Of course, there are bangers we all like here and there, and the independent, alternative, indie, and underground scenes are full of more talent than ever before, but the mainstream is suffering. And I think there are a few reasons as to why this could be. One reason could be today's terrible economy and wealth inequality. I mean, I'm spending $60 at the grocery store for some eggs, chicken, and yogurt. It's crazy. And one tool that can help you with this is Current. Current is a mobile bank. You can board bank over. I'm going double neg up during this video, and let's continue. Now, it is an objective fact that pop music is getting simplified. For example, melodies in pop music have gotten a lot simpler over time according to studies. A study looked at the top 5 Billboard songs from 1950 to 2023 and found that both rhythm and pitch became steadily less complex over that period. Conservatively, they have both decreased by 30%. This isn't inherently a bad thing, but it's just one of many studies that goes to show that pop music has been getting simpler. A study in 2012 showed that diversity of note combinations has consistently diminished in the last 50 years. Melodies are becoming more and more similar, and songs are relying on a smaller range of timbres than before. And I think the biggest driver of this is the streaming era and record labels. First of all, think about platforms like Spotify or TikTok. When Spotify took off, their unique playlist system was the standard for finding new music. To make it to the top Spotify playlist, your song has to work its way through the lower and mid-tier playlists first. And if your song is skipped a lot, it won't graduate, making it so artists might not be inclined to have a slow intro or too crazy of an intro. And when people are listening to playlists in the background, they don't want super crazy songs. So the focus isn't on giving people reasons to listen to your music, but avoiding giving them reasons to turn it off, which is why a lot of pop songs may feel a little bit more bland or less offensive than they may have in the past. In a similar way, the TikTok era of music has artists hyper-focused on a 10-second clip of their song, usually the chorus, hoping that that one part goes viral, whereas the rest of the track may be a little boring or repetitive or just brushed off. Another reason pop music all sounds kind of simpler and similar is likely because of how easy it is to make music now. Objectively, I think that making music more accessible has been a huge net positive and it has led to way more innovation, but it can also cause a couple problems. I saw a YouTuber named Lachlan Frazier made a similar video on this topic and brought up a great point.
Talking about how the tape sound that everyone strives for and loves isn't actually the saturation or compression that you get from tape. Instead, the tape sound that everyone wants but doesn't quite realize they want is the imperfection.
What do you mean by that?
Tape was expensive and difficult to work with. You really needed to be good at what you were doing, and if you were considering doing a retake, you really had to think it over and decide, do I really want to redo this whole take and waste more tape? And because of that, older records tend to have more flaws. But now with digital recording, you can endlessly record takes and then comp out a perfect take and then quantize it and run it through Melodyne and then stack 5 EQs and 30 other plugins on top of that.
We've perfected the soul out of music is a great quote from that video. And I think this leaves people yearning for some sort of imperfection in music. For example, when the SoundCloud era popped off in the late 2010s, a lot of the draw to that genre was the artist utilizing distortion. People enjoyed what most pop songs would have edited out at the time. Personally, I'm a big fan of this underground artist named Willie
I wish
Crooks
he
who
showed an
intentionally clips his
example.
kicks.
Distortion? I don't know.
Yeah.
If you don't know, clipping is a type of distortion when the audio is too high for the system to handle, so it just cuts off. And usually it sounds terrible. Basically, this is what clipping is. Me talking really loud into the mic, see the audio clipped, and now it sounds shitty, even if it's quiet. But in his music, I think he makes it sound kind of cool. Or even vocal
Oh,
imperfections,
did
like
you
when an
already?
artist's voice cracks.
I was nervous. I thought
Yeah,
it
dude.
was
I took it out in the headpiece because I was like,
It sounds terrible. Basically, this is what clipping is. Me talking really loud into the mic, see the audio clipped, and
I get it.
I didn't get it.
It's a little imperfect sound.
I didn't get it.
Listen.
off. And usually it sounds terrible. Basically, this is what clipping is. Me talking really loud into the mic, see the audio.
You don't hear it? It's a little. I get it. I don't really feel like what makes people attracted to that type of sound.
I guess I have to hear the music to understand, like to really feel it.
It, to me, what this sounded like is like, you see how we have a little thing like on the mic to filter out the noise. I feel like what he sounded at would take this off, and that's how it would sound. That's what it sounded like. I don't know,
Clipped, and now it sounds shitty even if it's quiet. But in his music, I think he makes it sound kind of cool. Or
because it feels like there's a bunch of noise kind of when he talks regularly, a bunch of noise removed, but in that particular segment, 2 second split, sounded like the noise was there.
even vocal imperfections, like when an artist's voice cracks or messes up, can sound good. It makes the music sound so much more human. And that video by Lachlan was great. However, I don't agree with all of his takes. For example, he said a lot of rap all sounds the same now.
Rap music, I would argue, is probably the biggest offender of this trend. The genre seems to have just been completely taken over by minimalistic trap beats and a hyper fixation on aesthetics. They're not really offering the listener anything other than some vibes. And look, I'm not saying that every rapper needs to be Nas or Pharoah Monch or whatever, but it almost feels like being able to actually rap or write good lyrics is now somehow cringe in modern rap. There was a time when sounding like another rapper was taboo. Now, most of these rappers sound the same, right? And again, that's not me being an old man yelling at clouds. Genuinely, a lot of these new rappers have the same flows, the same beats, the same subject matter, the same styles. Everything is the same.
And even though I disagree with that take, it's sort of an old head argument, and I think there's more diversity in rap than ever before. But I do think that rap is a big component of this dry spout.
I guess I'm all headed because I agree with him. I feel like he was spot on with that comment.
I don't know. I just think whatever makes it to the top is it's pretty much all the same because they rise to the top. It's what's popular, it's what's trending. But if you really look through music and you are able to like search and find, I think there's
Right. I agree. Like, I think I get what you're saying, and yes, if you're gonna go and look for it, in the corners of the internet, you will find music that is
You'll
different.
find your bubble.
Yeah, but like whatever comes across my radar, it's all the same. So that's why I agree with him, because it's just I'm not gonna sit here go look for music to listen to, but if it doesn't come to me, like I'm sure just the
Because
fact that this exists, well,
Back in the day,
so what?
especially with like rap and hip hop, used to have like mixtapes. How this music would like be distributed is not by the labels, is not by the big heads that filter out and give you what they think you want to hear. You will hear people's mixtapes and then you get curious. The independency of it all makes it more able to reach a bigger audience without being filtered and kind of controlled. Because you have like mixtapes from like 50 Cent, mixtapes from Nicki Minaj. And at that time, it was very raw. And to me, I don't think that you could get something as raw as you would get from a label because labels like pretty much shopping around, okay, what's the next trend? And then we'll sell
Nowadays,
that, and that's
absolutely,
it.
absolutely. And but also what he said is that back in the day, it was like if you sounded like someone else, it was frowned upon. Now it's like cute. Oh, it reminds me of this. We sitting here doing reactions. Almost every reaction. Oh, sounds like reminds me of. Like back then, it's just like no. That's what like make Eminem so successful is this unique Slim Shady, the flows, just the silliness of it all. There was no other rapper doing like silly lines like that. The stupid shit that the Slim Shady was. Like that he stood out like that. And not just Eminem, any rapper like J. Cole has his own, like Nas. You hear them instantly, you know who it is.
What we've been seeing lately. In fact, I just saw a headline that said, for the first time since February 1990, there are no rap songs charting inside the top 40 of the Billboard Hot 100. And apart from the Kendrick-Drake beef, there hasn't really been much exciting music in the mainstream rap. Remember, this video is about upper echelon mainstream. For a long time, rap hasn't had an artist break out into the mainstream, and most of the artists carrying the genre these days are the older artists. This is important because for a very long time, rap has been the biggest genre by market share in the mainstream. As of 2023, it still was, but I'm not quite sure where it's at today. Regardless, in 2025, the best-selling albums were Kendrick's GNX, Lil Baby's Wham, Tyler's Chromacopia and Don't Tap the Glass, Cardi's Music, Drake's Some Sexy Songs for You, and Big X The Plug's Take Care. Aside from half of these being released in 2024, the only new artist on this list was Big X. It really feels like rap hasn't had any big new
And Big X's music is basically country. So
numbers in the last like 3 years. And most of its newcomers who break through the mainstream have no staying power. Like Ice Spice, Roddy Ricch, Polo G, and a lot of these other artists. It's like, what are they doing today? Like they're not doing anything. And as a huge rap fan, please do not get me wrong. I think rap has a ton of great music coming out every single week, month, day, year, but it's just not breaking through to the mainstream like I wish it would. For example, we got 2 Chainz and Larry June's album
That's
this
what
year,
I'm
Yeats
saying.
EP, the Until Japan.
It's not being filtered to the top because at the top they think, oh, we want this same song repeated over and over and over again, so we get the same song in different in different fonts pretty much. So there is good music out there. It's just there's a blocking of the labels that wants you to hear just this and they think that this works, or maybe they just want to focus on the complete genre shift because a lot of labels also fired people, let people go, and that's why there was also a lot of pressure for Cardi B in when she was dropping her album in a more advanced time as opposed to dropping it later on because of issues of how these new labels are operating, especially the big ones. The one that's owned by the Grange family, they went through a complete overturn of
Universal.
yes, of who was on their team and who they're gonna continue to fund. There was like a lot of talks of, okay, how much money are we really funding to these rappers if we can't turn around profit? So their focus maybe is no longer in rap. They can be moving on to everyone doing let's do country.
Album, Jid dropped, Earl Sweatshirt, Freddie Gibbs put out a phenomenal project,
Even
and
Clips
multiple others.
got
But none of
blocked.
these are going super big in the mainstream like they may have a decade or so ago. So no, I don't think that people think lyrics and rap are cringe. I think there are different styles and scenes that are enjoyable for their own reasons, and both of which I believe can have longevity so long as the quality of the music is good. I think one of the biggest artists number-wise who blew up these past couple of years is Yeat.
Like talking about rap nowadays, who should become mainstream? Well, I don't think they will, but Coast Contra. I think there's everything old school about them, like the uniqueness, everything. They have that, but yeah, I don't think they're gonna be mainstream.
And even he hasn't had a big hit song or become a huge mainstream artist. And think about the big 3, Kendrick, Drake, and Cole. Like, there is nobody that comes to mind that can replace those 3 in terms of quality music as well as mainstream staying power. So of course, I'm not one of those old heads saying hip hop is dead, but it feels like it's just kind of in a dry period waiting for its next big era to come out, like maybe the SoundCloud era. And this has a big impact on the overall music industry as the biggest genre right now. With rap being in a dry spell, it feels like a lot of the music game is as well. However, another reason I think rap isn't being pushed as hard right now and pop music is getting simpler is because record labels know exactly what makes them money, and they are milking it. If you don't know, for the most part, there are 3 major labels that own pretty much every other record label. Those labels are Warner, Sony, and Universal. Also, by the way, I kind of want to make a video on how they create like a bit of a monopoly in the music industry, so that's interesting. Let me know if you want to see that. But unless you're listening to a pretty small artist or a big artist that is explicitly independent or on an indie label, they are at the thumb of these major labels. And major labels, especially when they have a large artist or an artist they're developing, they know how to make a hit. I made a video a while ago called Why Every Popular Song Sounds the Same. And of course, that was an overgeneralization, but I'm going to play you a clip of that video to show you what I mean. Scientists have studied 464,000 songs and found that both melodies and sounds of instruments are becoming much more similar. Songs are also becoming shorter because of this, and streaming platforms are prioritizing those shorter songs, mainly because shorter songs are less likely to be skipped. In the past 2 decades, labels have even acquired technology that they can use to analyze music and predict what songs will be hits. They can use services such as Hit Predictor or Shazam to see what songs will blow up. Apparently, Hit Predictor was able to predict 48 out of the top 50 radio hits in 2013. There are actually even entire companies such as Next Big Sound, which are dedicated to analyzing music and finding the next big sound. And you're probably thinking that if labels keep pumping out this generic music, people will eventually get tired of it. And while that may be true for some people, science says it actually isn't for the majority. In a study done by Columbia University in 2006, they showed some people music websites with a bunch of songs and told them to download their favorites. Some sites had rankings of the most popular songs and some didn't. It showed that people who saw the rankings were more likely to download the popular songs. They then did a second experiment where they did the same thing, but this time they sent out websites with the actual download statistics and then some websites with fake download statistics. The experiment proved again that believing that a song is more popular made people more likely to download it. Another study done in 2011 showed
That is true. Back in the day, before Spotify's, when I would download music of the torrent list, what I would do is I would go, like whenever I feel like finding new music, I go like on a Billboard chart and just download the most popular songs to see what they had. That's how I would find music, like all the songs that charting, topping the charts. I would download the Lady Gaga's, the Katy Perry's, because like those songs wouldn't really make it to Lithuanian radio. Like we don't play those songs. So like I would have to research myself, and how else do you do it based on the chart? Oh, the song is popular, let's see what it is. Because otherwise, how you would just type in random, of course, if I like an artist already and I know they dropped a new album, I'm gonna download that either way. But sometimes you feel like, okay, let's hear something new, so you go to, you know, yeah. So I would just check out the charts and download the most popular songs.
Is dopamine when people hear songs that they have played and heard before. This video is almost 3 years old now, and it's more true than ever before. Also, by the way, I've been doing YouTube full-time for 3 years, so I just want to say thank you guys, because that's dope. But yeah, what I mentioned in that video I think explicitly speaks to what I'm talking about here. Record labels are intentionally, scientifically, carefully crafting the most cookie-cutter songs with elements from every hit to create new hits. And I think this shows in a lot of popular songs today. If we get the biggest songs of the year so far, we have songs such as Ordinary by Alex Warren, Beautiful Things by Benson Boone, Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter, and more. And these songs aren't bad by any means, but there's just nothing special about them. They're just pretty ordinary. Also, I'm excluding Pink Pony Club and Birds of a Feather because I actually really like those songs. But if we're being honest, Birds of a Feather probably isn't all that special either. On top of all this, though, not only are labels pushing for these cookie cutter songs, but now they are straight up nostalgia baiting. What I'm about to tell you is kind of crazy, but you know how they have writing camps in the music industry? If not, it's basically where music industry people get a bunch of songwriters together, maybe looking to sell these songs to certain artists, or asking the writers to write a certain type of vibe song, like write a love song. But now they have camps that are specifically asking writers to write songs using interpolations. I found this out when making my previous video called The Art of Stealing Music Legally. Interpolating is basically borrowing and repurposing a melody, somewhat similar to sampling. Then once these new songs that interpolate old songs are written, they are sold to artists throughout the industry, which is just insane to think about, that there are songwriting camps that instead of writing entirely new songs, are just remixing old ones for artists to take advantage of this trend. And it's so successful because it plays on familiar melodies that labels and artists already know people like, repackaging them to a newer generation. Like I said, I did a whole video on interpolation, but it is truly fascinating. So clearly labels are meticulously crafting songs either based in nostalgia or data, which is what is resulting in things like songs sticking on Billboard for so long. Again, Billboard had to change their rules because these songs they're just stuck up on the charts for so long because nothing new is coming in and replacing them. That's how boring this year's been. Like I mentioned earlier, the biggest selling rap albums this year, half of them are from last year. Like 2025 just feels like it's been a dud. And labels are also investing heavily into artists that play it super safe. For example, two of the biggest artists right now, Taylor Swift and Morgan Wallen, just put out some pretty big bloated bland albums. The 3Bs, if you will. Morgan in particular put out an album with 37 songs, many of which were pretty bland, average, boring country songs. And don't get me wrong, it's not bad, it's just underwhelming. Regardless, he was able to break records thanks to this album. On the flip side, Taylor Swift just put out her album with less songs, but she spam released 34 different versions of this album, and this resulted, of course, in her breaking a record for album sales, despite it being an album that many thought was bad or boring. The point is, neither of these two albums produced a hit that we all know and love, and maybe you do, but do all of us? Are we all singing it at school or with our friends in the car or at the bar?
I mean, yeah, like the fact that I have to be sitting here listening to country Morgan Wallen, that just shows that where the industry is at. Because I have not
Is
listened.
that a bad thing for you?
I mean, I have not listened to a country song since Nelly and Tim McGraw, which is like what, 2010?
Or wherever. I don't think so. But this music, despite how boring or bland many may think it is still widely appealing and prints money for both the artists and the record labels. It's like the music industry version of a content farm. Don't get me wrong, again, there are still innovators and exciting artists in pop music, but a lot of it is bloated, bland, and boring. The 3Bs. However, I think this is bigger than music. Apart from just the record labels causing problems, I feel like society as a whole may have an issue as well. There are more genres and even more music out now than ever before. Thanks to the internet and progressions in technology, there is a sound for everyone out there. But back in the day, all the music you had access to was what was in the record stores or CD shops. So chances were you were much more likely to be listening to more similar music as your peers. Nowadays, though, everyone is so hyper individualized. There are hundreds of different scenes in different genres, in different pockets of different communities. This is, of course, a great thing that people can enjoy their niche of music easier than ever before, but it's also contributed to a lack of community across society. There isn't a monoculture like there used to be. Monoculture is a concept in pop culture studies in which facets of popular culture are experienced by everyone at once, either globally or nationally. This isn't a widely accepted term in the sociology world, but I feel like it's pretty fitting. And many in the sociology world argue that monoculture ended by the 21st century, mainly toward the end of the 2010s, due to the rise of streaming media and the fracturing of popular culture. Patrick CC touched on this in his video titled The Death of Mainstream, which I think is very applicable here. Not only do we have infinite music to choose from, but we have so many things to entertain us and occupy our time. Amazing YouTube videos like this one, tons of shows and movies, and of course the lovely short form content that you can effortlessly scroll for hours. In an article by Vox, the writer said, "We're in the midst of the streaming wars, with so many different media products and platforms competing for our attention. Journalists and critics are worried that the huge popularity and sense of universality that Avengers and Game of Thrones achieved are now disappearing for good." The writer continued, "The fear is that we exist in a fragmented realm of impenetrable niche."
I mean, talking about music industry, it's cute, but like even talking about TV shows, because I'm not really into movies. I like TV shows, but I have been struggling to find something new to watch. There is nothing good
But you know,
to
that's also
watch.
partly there's been a strike too, so it's not like the best of times
Okay, I
either.
don't know. Maybe when wasn't the strike in 2020?
Doesn't mean, I mean, it takes time to get the script together, the funding.
I don't
It doesn't
know.
happen
Well,
just like
I feel
overnight.
like finding a new show to watch.
Mhm.
The best new show like that was actually watchable was Dexter's new season, the re-release. But that's piggybacking on Dexter because Dexter, we liked Dexter. So
I don't know if people have the patience to in the plot.
to now, I guess Tulsa King on Paramount was pretty good, and
I don't know.
the couple of like Paramount Plus shows are very okay.
Sometimes there's some shows they only get like one season. I'm like, oh.
But like, it's been a struggle to find something good to watch.
Niches and subcultures enabled by streaming media. The second concern is that because of the pressures of social media and the self-reinforcing biases of recommendation algorithms that drive streaming, culture is becoming more similar than different. And I think what they're trying to say is that culture in these sub-niches is becoming super, unique and uniform, whereas as an entire society, it's very niche down. Of course, this article is speaking on culture in general, including TV, books, everything, not just music. But I think when specifically talking about music, it's rare that we can point out too many monoculture moments in the last 5 years. Apart from maybe some Ice Spice or Sexy Red or the Drake versus Kendrick, Chapel Rowan, and the occasional hit, I feel like there hasn't been a super huge monoculture moment in music in the last few years. The artists and songs I listed were definitely like big, but I feel like it wasn't universal. For example, let's just scroll through the Billboard Hot 100 best performing singles of the 2020s. Apart from maybe The Box by Roddy Ricch, how many of these songs were like universally loved and listened to by everyone? Maybe Bad Habit by Steve Lacy. I don't even think that one would count. I'm not sure if I'm making sense right now, if I'm just
I mean, if we're looking in the past 5 years since 2020, I would say Harry Styles' his song Watermelon Sugar, and As It Was. I think those songs were pretty universal. Like, I think they were, and that's exactly why they're like they have shitload of Spotify streams because they were quite universal. Aside from that, WAP I think was fairly universal. I want to say because we just did and I don't know in what context was it. Maybe it was on Discord or we watched something that Ben Shapiro or who a conservative, he was like talking about WAP. So I feel like that was pretty,
Explained.
in the Nicki video. There we go. That's where we watched. Okay, I was thinking like, why the fuck I know this? Yeah, in the Nicki video we did yesterday, he was talking like that song. I think okay, even though it was like a rap, like more of a niche genre, but I think it was universally you want to say controversial, not controversial. I don't know. Maybe it was pretty controversial. I remember there was a lot of misogyny going on in that song.
rambling at this point, but comparing songs from pretty much every decade of the music industry up until recently, it just seems like something's missing. With the endless amount of music, the lack of a monoculture, and everything being so hyper-individualized, it's unlikely we will routinely have monoculture again, unless something major changes in society. But here's the deal. There are always artists in the underground scene building off of sounds and innovating. This is happening every day. When an old scene dies out, new ones are born, and there's always a musician working to create something new, original, or fresh. But for a lot of the reasons I listed, mostly having to deal with record labels and the formulaic hits they're putting out, the mainstream is suffering, and I'm honestly not sure what it'll take to get it back to how it used to be, or if it ever will. Another thing this has resulted in is the disappearance of bands from the mainstream, which for a few other reasons too has become a recent phenomenon. So to learn more about that, consider clicking the video on screen right now.
That's so interesting.
I think 2026 is gonna be an exciting year in music.
Why?
Because
How
I
do
feel
you know?
well, I don't know. I just my opinion. Because 2025 was dead, and I feel like it goes in waves. If one year is dead, the next year is gonna be good. So, like for example, if we did when we did most stream songs of this year of that year, there was one year like I think maybe '07. I was like, what the fuck? This is a dead year. And then '08 was phenomenal year. So I think this might be similar case where like okay 2025 is dead and 2020 because 2024 was a good year in music, even though we just did a video how music is not exciting any like all things considering. I do think 2024 was good. Now 2023, I don't know if I can recall many songs from 2023. Flowers, I don't know anything else.
I think if you're given a list, you would.
Maybe, yeah. But so we'll see. I do feel like 2026 is gonna be an exciting year, though.
Can I see the commentary?
Hmm. It's not just music; it's everything. The world is no longer designed for humans, but for numbers, whether they be in engagement, online bank accounts, algorithm, or AI. Yeah, as I said, movie, the TV show industry for sure. Everybody on YouTube is telling me how something now sucks. And that is true.
That's funny.
The label is confusing. They have no idea what we want. I gotta tap on more music. It's the mainstream that's getting bored. Yeah, but people like don't have time to like. I don't have time to go dig for music, and that's the thing. Like when I was younger, you know, yeah, I had time, but now like I just don't have time to go dig for music. It would be
Now
nice.
the music finds you. You want TikTok
Right.
scrolling, and
Exactly.
the
And
music
I
comes to you.
want good music to find me. I don't want like I don't want trash to find me, you know?
Okay. Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. We could like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. And as always, share as much kindness as possible.